In our first video, we left off here on the equation, a statement that two mathematical expressions are equal. So really, there's an expression right here. We have an expression with 3x minus 2y equals 2. We have another expression of 12. It's a combination of numbers. But then when we set that equal sign in there, it's known as an equation. So how is an expression different from an equation? So expressions and equations. An algebra expression does not have an equal sign. So 4 times n to the second plus 7. Notice I said times. When you see a number right next to a variable, it's multiplication. An equation does have an equal sign. So again, look at that word equation, EQUA, and then we have EQUAL. So it almost has the word equal in it. It's an equation. So once we have that equal sign, it's an equation. So now introducing the parts of an equation and expression. We have variables, we have terms, we have coefficients, and we have constants. So we're going to break down each of these terms for you to better understand. So here we have x. What is x? It's a quantity that changes or that can have different values. It's a symbol, usually a letter, that can stand for an unknown quantity. So maybe in the past you've seen, like, I don't know, like 4 in a box equals 12. So 4 times this box equals 12. Well, what is that box? That box equals 3. We could have had that box, or we could have said 4n equals 12, and n would have equaled 3. So that is known as our variable. So, okay, what are some variables in your life? So, do you see the variables in these expressions? 6x squared, the variable is x. 5x, 3, is there a variable here? No. 2b divided by 3, and then negative 2y. Which of these have a variable and which one doesn't? So a number, variable, product, or quotient is in an expression. That's known as a term. So whenever you have a term, it's like it says here, it's a number, variable, product, or quotient in an expression. So if I have 5x plus 12, that separation with a sign, with an operation of plus or minus, those are combined and considered a term. So how many terms do you see here? So you have 3x squared plus 5x plus 2. You have a term here, you have a term here, and you have another term here. Okay, so there were 3 terms. Now we're talking about another term, or another definition, called a coefficient. So coefficient is that number in front of the variable. So example, how many x's do we have here? We have 5. Don't tell me you have 1x. We have 5, and that's known as the coefficient. How many x squares do we have? We have 3. And again, that term is known as the coefficient. So we have a variable, it's x. We have a coefficient that's attached to that x. We have a whole term, like 3x is a term. We have an operator, which can be plus or minus, and this is an equal sign. So now our last term, what do these 2 and these 5 represent that don't have variables attached to them? Those are known as a constant. A number on its own, not attached to a variable, is called a constant.